Okay, so we've organized all of our money into funds. What now? Well, this is where the budget office comes in. So there are a million ways to organize a budget and a million jargon words to describe how you're doing it. Performance-based budgeting, zero-based budgeting, participatory budgeting, incremental budgeting, and on and on and on. And here at the city, our budget office uses what's called program budgeting. And this means that we break down our work into coherent, discrete programs and then budget for them accordingly. So in the finance department, program budgeting means that, for example, our real estate assessments program is separate from our treasury program, which is separate from our risk management program, which is separate from our accounting program. We budget for all the costs related to those things, including personnel costs, office supplies, specific vendors, and everything else in one place. This allows us to easily see how much any one program costs, and your department is arranged similarly. As a side note, the Johnson administration came up with program budgeting during the 1960s because many of their weapons development programs during the early Vietnam era were plagued by cost overruns and delays, and it was difficult for them to figure out exactly why. And it kind of makes you wonder what exactly they were doing prior to program budgeting, right? Just printing money? As you can probably anticipate, program is a segment in the chart of accounts. Program is a 6-digit segment that contains intelligence, and the first 2 digits are the department number. Department numbers are segments unto themselves, though they don't have any intelligence. So, for example, City Council is 01, Budget is 05, Planning and Zoning is 30, TES is 41, and Police is 55. But back to program segments. As we just discussed, the first 1 or 2 digits of the program segment are department number. The next 2 digits are, well, the program number. If that's confusing, here's the background. So back in 2013, when city fiscal staff were building the chart of accounts, the budget office budgeted a little bit differently than they do today. They used a system called program activity-based budgeting. Now this means that in addition to organizing our work into programs, we further subdivided our work into activities. So, for example, the accounting program in the finance department had an activity called financial reporting. It had another one called reconciliation. It had another one called paying and billing vendors. Other programs across the city were also broken down the same way. Each of these activities had a number, and those numbers were the final 2 digits of the program segment. So the program segment originally went department, program, activity. You'll notice now, if you look at active program segments across the city, that the final 2 digits of every program are 00. And this is because in 2014, a year after Munis went live, the budget office decided to modify the way that they budgeted and eliminate activities. The middle 2 digits, the program, stayed exactly the same, but fiscal staff remapped every org in Munis to program segments with the activity digits at the end zeroed out. Now, if you go into Account Inquiry and click the Segment Find button and then click the ellipsis next to the program segment, you'll see that all of those old department program activity versions of the program segment are all still in the system. And this is because we can't delete segments. Funds, programs, they live forever. However, we do not use program segments with anything other than 00 as the last 2 digits. So if you're interested in Munis anthropology, please feel free to peruse the old activity statements. Otherwise, you're never going to need them. So now that you have a handle on programs, let's talk about the most common segment you'll be encountering in your day-to-day work in Munis, orgs. See you in the next video.